Ruth Ann Welch Gavesa.
Our first gathering was in the Alvin Theater, and the nursery was in Alvin State Bank across the street. And I can't think of the name of the bank, Manry, I believe it was, L.B. Manry, I think. He and Tom Blakeney, so they volunteered that we could use the bank as a nursery. And then the next Sunday we were in the American Legion Hall, and we're there until the men got their first little church built. It was an exciting time of young couples with lots of little children and a few older people to keep it financially stable. Wonderful years though there at South Park with lots of dear and good people. It's when they had us signing up to establish the charter for the church. We didn't even have a name yet, but Dan's was the first in line, so I guess he signed, and then I signed after him. And then those two teenagers, Lynn and Cliff, that were dating then, they were signed up after, somewhere further down the line. And Lynn was our first pianist, an excellent pianist. And then we called the Scottish gentleman, James Walker, and his wife, Catherine, that were such a blessing to all of us. It was just fun having somebody that was quite a bit older and had that Scottish voice and rolling his R's.
And Brother Walker was one of the reasons that we did as well as we did, because he was a brilliant man and a very interesting person. His way of speaking and
Scottish brogue.
His Scottish brogue, and he just appealed to people, and they came to hear him.
One time, when I was pregnant with my third daughter, Susan, my second daughter, Susan, I was having a lot of difficulties, and I prayed that morning and asked God to please send somebody to me that I was really feeling desperate. It wasn't even an hour, there was a knock on the door, and there was James and Catherine Walker. And he said, Mama and I prayed this morning and asked God who we should go see, and he gave us your name. Well, we had some wonderful people there in the church.
Sunday morning, going to services. Miss Mona Daniel, his brother Hugh and Mary Collins. Brother Hugh has 3 daughters involved in South Park. Mary, pictured here, Susie Strickland, and later on, Ida Jane Collins joined. Bob Owens is holding the door. Susie Strickland and Mary Collins, Brother Hugh's daughters, were both charter members. Jane Bowen and family arriving for services. There's Katie Dodson. That's Lynn Pickett's mother, very special lady. Lynn Dodson Pickett. I think Lynn had just left Dallas Lee in the nursery. Faye Duncan on the right, Florence Cope, and Mona Daniel. There's Mrs. McDermott. Mrs. McDermott went on to be Dean of Women at Sam Houston State Teachers College.
To back up just a little bit, I believe that J.T. Farrell was your first Sunday school superintendent, as they were called then, rather than Sunday school director.
That's correct.
And you were the assistant director, is this right? Tell us how the Sunday school was at this time.
Well, we weren't so many overall, but we had a good attendance record. Fact of the business is our attendance in the first was a run above our enrollment.
Now that's what we'd like to do today, isn't it? Is to run above our enrollment.
That's right.
That would run the office people crazy, wouldn't it? But a good kind of crazy. Mr. Pickett, I know that I read in the minutes and so forth that you were one of the first deacons that were ordained here at South Park. Can you remember some of the other men that was on that?
Yes, L.B. Manry and J.T. Farrell, Bob Caperton, and Sam Wood, myself.
Virgil McGinnis in the hat, L.B. Manry, the sunglasses, Sammy Wood in the white shirt, and Norman Marshall was behind him.
Sam drove many nails into the first building out here at South Park.
Yes.
And we gathered many times at night as the men were working. We brought cakes and coffee and that sort of thing. And he enjoyed that a lot. Sam was made a deacon.
Yes, I understand he was one of the first deacons that were ordained in this
Right,
church. Is
he
that right?
surely was, and he took that most seriously. And Sam was real active. He was a busy man in his own work, in his business, but he was never too busy that he couldn't take time to do whatever needed to be done up here.
Mr. Pickett, you told us a moment ago about an interesting story of some help. Would you tell us again about that?
Well, the whole town turned out to help us at different times in their spare time, and those of us who were working came down here and worked from late in the afternoon on up till, I believe we tried to shut off about 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night. And I remember one time I was working up, we were putting the roof on the building, the deck for the roof, rather. And I was working away, and I looked on my left. I saw a man there I had never seen before. I looked on my right, and I saw another man I had not seen before. I didn't know him. And so I started talking to them, and I asked them if they lived here. They said, no, we were just passing through, and you folks were having so much fun that we decided we'd stop and join you a while. They were working away, just having a good time. I had never seen them before, and I have never seen them since. They were passing through like that.
L.B. Manry, Brother Hugh Collins, Guy Welch, and Bob Owens at the groundbreaking for the second sanctuary, December 15th, 1957. The new pastor, Brother Cliff Johnston. There's Cliff, Charlene, Charles, David, and Mike in March of 1958. Charlene Johnston. Miss Cope in the red hat there. This must have been a special dinner on the grounds day. Two of the Johnston boys. The second sanctuary, now it's called Fellowship Hall. It was dedicated in September of 1958. Pretty sanctuary. Exposed beams, natural wood, finished ceiling. Going to service in the new sanctuary. Miss Cope, Miss Brazil, Maddie Wallen in the hat, Clarice and Bill Hassey. Fall of 1962, some good events. The church voted to build the children's building, and concurrently they voted to start Chocolate Bayou Mission on Stringtown Road, with Bob Caperton to be the mission director. Brother Cliff and Bob Caperton. Bob was mission director for Chocolate Bayou Mission, pastor there when it became a church, and later Bob was a missionary to Colombia. In August of 1963, the structure was up. This picture is from a newspaper photograph. The children's building was, the first floor was completed in November of 1963. Groundbreaking for the present sanctuary, May 1974. Mr. Mack, Del Hoffman, George Duncan, Brother Cliff, Pete Vincent, Ruby McGinnis, Joe Keith, and Burl Ball. And to the right of Burl is Ben Magnus, and that group made up the building committee for the third sanctuary. The structure for the balcony with its stairwell. And as we know it today, it was completed in December of 1974, dedicated in early 1975. Howie Daniel, summer youth worker, 1979-1980. Howie grew up in South Park. 1979 was not a very good year. Visited by Claudette, we had 40 plus inches of rain in 24 hours in Alvin. The children's building with the waters receding, I believe we had around 2 feet of water in the church buildings.
When the floods started, it seems to me like it was a Wednesday, and Bill Montgomery was the education minister at the time. The sanctuary had several places in the foyer that leaked. And when it did that, all the office staff knew to run with waste baskets and whatever we could find to put in those leaks. Well, it just came on and was just looking bad, and the reports were bad. And knowing two of us lived in this neighborhood at the time, so he sent us on home. Well, it's a good thing because, as you know, that street floods. And Bill Montgomery and Howie Daniel came in a big old truck and picked us up, rescued us, and took us to his house. So many of our members were flooded as well. So we worked at the church during the day and then went home and did that same thing at night till even past bedtime, till midnight lots of times. So it was a rough time. Many books got ruined, and it was a rough time. And a lot of records did as well. We tried to get them out and, air them and dry them to see if we could still read them, but so many of them were ink, you see, and it just ran.
The flyer says the Pastor Search Committee urges you to be present to hear Barry Foster coming in view of a call Sunday, August the 7th. That would be 1983. The church newsletter said Foster accepts pastorate. Picture of Barry and Jenny and the family. Barry completed his doctorate while at South Park. This picture was made graduation day at the seminary. Burl Ball, business manager from August 1987 to present time. A member since the 60s, an active deacon, been on many committees, been a Sunday school teacher. November the 22nd, 1987. Brother Barry leads groundbreaking ceremonies for the new 2-story office and educational building. In the center of this picture of the groundbreaking, John McClellan to the left, Barry, Solon Williams. At the far right in the picture is Bruce Bland, dedicated September the 25th, 1988. We had a fire December the 27th, 1988. Fortunately, Cecil McKee found it in time to head off major damage. Electrical wiring problems was the cause. Much smoke and water damage. Worship services were relocated until the sanctuary was repaired and redecorated. Don Piper, part-time youth director in 1988. Minister of Education, January 89 through July of 1990. Miracles still do happen. Don was severely injured in an automobile accident January the 17th, 1989. He miraculously survived, recovered, and subsequently pastored in Rocheron. The cake says, "Welcome the Petersons." In the summer of 1991, Bruce Peterson, associate pastor of the First Baptist Church of Corpus Christi, accepted the call to be our pastor. There's Bruce and Beverly, Christy and Chad, who joined us in 1991.
We had left a situation that wasn't very pleasant for us and came here to do some healing. Had some touch with Brother Bruce at the time and found South Park to be such a welcoming and and caring community of the years, and it's met the needs we needed, and it's just been a good place for us. As I think back over the years, I've been in groups of small groups of men with J.B. Perkins and Wilburn Koenig and D.C. Pickett and my friend Bobby Verdine and Paul Weber, and all of those are gone on now to their reward. But you know, over the years, I've listened to stories from these gentlemen about their families and how they love their church, and that's why we're here.
South Park was known for putting on Christmas and Easter pageants involving the choir and church members as actors. Much of the drama was written by Ann Dillman. These took many months of practice and preparation, but they were a great gift to the community. In September of 2008, Hurricane Ike hit the Texas Gulf Coast. South Park Baptist Church suffered major damages. The sanctuary and the children's building were left unusable. Over the course of the next 15 months, we continued worshiping by relocating Sunday school classes and worship services to other parts of the church buildings. The task was complete, and we reunited in one service in the rebuilt sanctuary on Christmas Eve, 2009. In 2011, Howard Daniel came to pastor South Park with his wife LaVonna, son Russell, who was in seminary, and their daughter Lori. This was a wonderful homecoming because Howard had grown up at South Park. In 2013, we entered our next building project. We replaced the foyer and added a new preschool building. Both of the buildings replaced older buildings on our campus. During construction, the church met for Sunday school and worship at Fairview Junior High. The first Sunday back, November 23rd, 2014. In January 2013, a dedicated group of volunteers began an after-school ministry at Passmore Elementary called Kids Beach Club. Later that year, it was moved to Hood Case Elementary, and a group was added at Harvey Junior High. God has blessed this ministry in a mighty way. As of now, there have been over 230 students to make a profession of faith in Jesus Christ. South Park supported a church plant, Ecclesia, on Vancouver Island in Canada. We took mission trips in 2015 and 2016 to help support the ministry of this new church. In 2020, we began working with Casas por Cristo, building houses in Acuña, Mexico. We have taken a total of 5 trips and built 6 houses. In March of 2020, COVID hit. The church held services online for a couple of months. Al Perry was interim pastor at the time. As soon as the church was able to meet in person again, we had social distancing. At this time, the pastor search committee also gave their report that they were ready to present a new pastor. Pastor Chad Bertrand started in July of 2020 with wife Lori, son David, and daughters Ryan, Sawyer, and Della.
I began working the security detail at South Park after the pandemic, and I quickly fell in love with the church and the families and how they interacted with the community and all the things they did to serve. And I just love it because we're all like a family and we take care of each other, and I feel that we are all working together to further God's kingdom.
In September of 2022, Matt Ruzicka began Horizon, a ministry to young adults. This also included restarting the BSM at Alvin Community College.
We found South Park Baptist Church because we were looking for a church home. We were trying to find a church that, met some of the criteria that we kind of wanted with having younger children. We wanted a church that had a youth program that was active, that had a youth group and a youth minister. We wanted a church that had Sunday school classes, and there was a lot of churches that we went to that they just don't have those classes anymore not for adults or children. And so that was something that was very important to us. And we wanted a church that we felt like was going to be able to grow, that had a nice mix of ages and people our age, and as well as people, as well as children, our children, our children's age. First time that we visited, we noticed that out of the other places that we have visited before, it was very welcoming. We had several people come up to us afterwards, and what really did surprise us was that first day, Pastor Chad actually made a point to come and talk to us. And we didn't go and talk to him. He seeked us out and found us and said that he had noticed us because we were new that day. And it felt good to have him come and talk to us, and it made us feel like we were home.
All right, ma'am, you're one of the charter members of this church, is that true?
Yes.
Can you tell me the difference between what's going on now and what used to be here?
It's way out there.
It's almost the same.
Is it real?
More people. We used to have barbecues and things over here all the time.
What about, you were a charter member.
I was.
Would you tell me about what it was like when they first started the church?
So much hope, so much vision, so much love, and it's still there and growing.
Amen.